Welcome back to FMR Therapy. This is JC, and today we're going to do hammer, supinates, and pronates. So this exercise is something that I usually want people who have hand pain, wrist pain, elbow pain. Elbow pain is probably the one I should start with, to do, right? And sometimes when we're doing an exercise, we're just trying it out to see if it's helpful. Other times we know that it's helpful and we're trying to get better. So this is what the movement is. If you have a hammer laying around, this is one of the easiest devices to use because of the weight on the other end. You could do this potentially with a lightweight dumbbell, a small dumbbell, and you can also do this with something that's long, like a PVC pipe or a broom, a Swiffer, something like that. I'm going to demonstrate both ways. So what we're talking about is supination of the forearm, right? So you've got two bones in this forearm, and they can twist and turn over one another. The function of that twisting and turning is happening at the elbow and at the wrist throughout the entire forearm. So if we're getting hot in the elbow on the outside or even on the inside, this is definitely one of those exercises for you. So what I want you to start with is whichever hand is working, I want you to retract your shoulder blades. So you're sort of pinching your shoulder blades together and bracing your abs. That's just going to put your arm in a really good position. I want this upper arm right by your body instead of just sort of being lazy and out in front of you, right? So by retracting that shoulder blade, we're just going to kind of settle that upper arm right next to the rib cage by the body. We're starting with the hand in this hammer position, right? This is what we call a hammer curl. So in this neutral position, and you're just going to put your hammer in that hand. So supinates would be to allow the hammer to just take my hand. I'm slowly controlling the hammer as it falls toward the ground. Gravity is just doing the job here, and I'm getting a stretch through these tissues. When I go back to neutral, that's a contraction, right? So you're going to start with 10 reps of supinations, right? So you're just going this away and then come back up. Let's say it hurts too bad. You can go this way. You can get into a stretch, mildly uncomfortable, but you can do it. But you cannot pull that thing back up without pain. You're going to take your opposite hand, reach over, pull it back up to neutral, and begin again, right? Get a nice slow eccentric load of the hammer going this way, and then reset with the other hand instead of creating pain by doing the actual action of what we call pronation, right? So here's the other side, is pronating. So again, my shoulder is set back, my upper arm is next to my rib cage, my belly's slightly braced so that I'm not being weird. I'm starting in a neutral position and I'm going to pronate. So now I'm letting that hammer fall this way. I'm getting a stretch through here, and then I bring it back. We're going to get 10 of those. Again, if you just cannot bring it back without pain, then you're just going to use the other hand and gently bring that hammer back up to neutral. You can go back and forth. There's nothing wrong with doing a supination, then a pronation, and going back and forth, back and forth. You have to decide what is the best exercise for you. Is there one that creates pain? Don't do that one. Is there one that doesn't create pain? Do that one. See where I'm going here? So we're doing supination, pronation, getting at least 10 reps, and the focus is more on the hammer going slowly down. It doesn't matter how fast it comes back up. One thing to note, if the hammer choking all the way up like so, or being all the way at the end of the hammer rather, is too heavy, you can always choke up, right? So you can choke up on that hammer. Now there's less weight that your tissues are needing to load, and that might be tolerated just a little bit better, right? Keep that elbow at 90 degrees. Avoid, coming into a really bent elbow with this exercise. Let's say you don't have a hammer, but you do have a broom. Same thing in terms of where your hand goes. The farther down I am, the more length this is going to have, so the heavier it's going to be, and the more stretch I'm probably going to get with a whole entire PVC pipe or broom doing this exercise. So I can choke up, decide how much of that is going to go this way in terms of a weight, and then of course just use my other hand if it hurts to bring it back up, or I can simply get those supinates. Always, always, always keeping that shoulder back. We're really working to unlock any issues that we're having with pronation and supination. I do find that this comes along with elbow pain and wrist pain or wrist pain. So if that's something that you've got going on, maybe from being at a desk, from doing other things, anything where you're reaching out and gripping and that's painful, get on these. Try to do these 2, maybe 3 times a week. 10 reps in one direction, 10 reps in another direction. That's a place to start. If 10 doesn't bother you at all and you're feeling like this is no big deal, go for 20 reps, go for 30 reps, or start using that as a progression to build onto. All right? I hope that helps, and thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.